Here's why attractive women are less likely to get married. In order for a marriage to work, you need to be incredibly forgiving and show a lot of compromise. Now, because attractive women are surrounded by men who are constantly making them promises, whenever her partner's behavior is fallible, she believes that she doesn't have to put up with this because there's men willing to give her everything that she's ever asked for, even though it's not true. And as a result, she becomes less tolerant and compromising and more likely to walk away every time things are becoming difficult. Second reason is, throughout the course of a marriage, they tend to desire their woman less and less. Now, attractive women, they find this transition very difficult to deal with because they're surrounded by men who are almost tripping over themselves to tell her how beautiful she is. When she's with a man who slowly is becoming indifferent to her appearance, she finds this very difficult to put up with. So instead of accepting that this is a natural process, she'll simply replace the man to receive the same validation that she's used to receiving all the time. And as a result, she's less likely to settle down. Men can never understand why female...
Okay. So there's a lot of information. So basically, too, is the dynamic that I say about very attractive women is that she is really used to a lot of attention from adorers. Mm-hmm. That she's used to that attention validation. That's why I say, like, a lot of pretty women, a lot of them, they're just a beautiful disappointment. They're an attractive disappointment. They're a pretty disappointment because a lot of women that are attractive, a lot of men give them what they want. Mm-hmm. So they don't develop characteristics to be more than just a pretty face. Mm-hmm. Because pretty enough is good enough for a lot of men.
Right.
So the problem is, that's why it's like, guys, do not fall for just beauty is enough. That means that you have lower standards. You're like saying, just because she's hot, that's enough. Mm-hmm. And it's not.
It's really not.
You know, you have to put better standards. So that she gets used to the validation. She gets used to having her way. Mm-hmm. So she gets used to the princess treatment. Mm-hmm. That's basically what it is.
Well, yeah.
And when she doesn't get it, her solution is get a new guy.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right, because like she's been treated that way for so long that she doesn't actually like understand reality. She doesn't see the way men really are because what she's been exposed to is what she thinks men are all the time. Mm-hmm. So when she enters into a relationship with a man that actually expects more from her, then it's toxic. He's just an asshole.
That's
Whatever.
The second part that she said. When she gets married and the magic fades, there's no more pussy magic really, or he gets used to her beauty or immune to the beauty. That means that the siren of her is no longer is faded. She's addicted to that attention, and she says, "Oh, you know what? You don't show me that validation anymore, so I'm gonna get somebody else." Her solution is always get a new guy, and she's always getting a new guy. That means she doesn't have good game to keep or the intelligence enough to know what a good relationship is.
Correct.
So she wants to get a new guy, and there goes the body count. There goes new men in her life.
Absolutely, because that's also the easier thing to do. So that's when women have been, deluded for so long that they expect, reality to change for them instead of just accepting the way things really are. They don't have that common sense or that recognition to realize, wait a minute, every single relationship I'm having is turning out the same way. They just associate it with the men.
Yeah, it's always their fault, not theirs.
Instead of taking in the feedback and being like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? How am I feeding
God forbid that they think they're doing something wrong, and that's really what it is. It's ego.
Well, no, absolutely, because like she even said, they just replace it. So she goes into the next relationship, and she gets that treatment from the beginning, and so she's like, see, this is the way it's supposed to be. Now, but then the siren fades.
She's got a lot of shit because she's a... Now, I don't know if it's true, because if you think about it, in social media, what gets attention is bad news or talking shit. So she got caught supposedly with a filter with her waist deal. We don't know if that's fake. Now with AI, we don't even know what's real anymore.
Yeah, and even then, it's
this is all simulation right now.
But even then, it's like, well, she's still a woman. She still wants to be beautiful and all of those things.
Well, that's one of them. The other one is that they caught her recording or something, and she's a side girl. So she's even a pretty girl, and what her solution is probably get the next guy. So even though she's giving advice, even though that she says it, they have the vice of not taking their own advice.
Correct. So
she might be a beautiful girl, gets her way, and she's doing the same thing. It's like a fat man can give you good advice on how to lose weight. Eat less, move more. But that's just half of the battle. So she has the right information, but coming from her, we discredit her because she's not implementing that information.
Correct.
So we judge her character, be like, she's full of shit. No, what she's saying is true. I agree what she's saying, but she doesn't implement.
She's just not following through with her own words. Yeah.
So what's the problem that guys should watch out for with beautiful women?
their characteristics to see, like, I think part of it too is like how what is it, like how well do they self-regulate? Because if they think that everything is on you, they're going to figure out that, okay, if they think everything is on you, they're going to put it all on you. So if you try to hold them accountable, the earlier you do that, the better, because then you can see how realistic and how self-correcting she can be.
You're really gauging to see if she really wants to change to be with you. If not, she's going to say you're the problem and get a new guy.
Yeah.
So the sooner the better you get rid of him.
Right.
That's why that stereotype, the more beautiful she is, the dumber she is.
Yes.
This is
I agree.
information because it's never them, it's always somebody else.
Right.
And what they're trying to do is fix the problem by changing the guy instead of them changing themselves.
Agreed.
That's why a good masculine figure in their life is a good thing, because their father or their brother or their uncle are not trying to screw them. They're not lying to them. So
No,
they
they'll
tell them
tell
how
them
it
how it
is, and then they realize, oh, I'm the problem, I need to change. But since now the father figure is out of the household, it's creating more delusional women.
I agree. And even when there is a father still in the picture, the mom will come and contradict pretty much anything that the dad says.
That's why they say women are not good at giving advice. Because have you noticed that women don't give advice necessarily to women, they give it to men. And then if the women give advice to women, the first thing they're going to do, like, well, where's your man? What kind of man do you have? You see what I mean? It's because there's more interest of men fixing themselves to be attractive to women than a market for women to fix themselves to attract men. The only time that women want to kind of correct themselves to get men is when it's too late.
Well, then, or when they're getting their ducks in a row when they're ready to replace the man.
But see, they're not growing as a person.
Oh, no.
They're just replacing the man again.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
that's the only
fault.
time, but even then, that's like one of the only times you'll actually see them make an effort to change. But even then, it's just to replace the man.
The main takeaway here is a beautiful girl has a lot of adorers. And is she more addicted to the validation from the adorers, or does she want to change for somebody that she adores?
Agreed.
That's the thing is. So beautiful women, sometimes they're a waste. I talk to a lot of beautiful women, and she's experienced this, and I go, hey, she's just a pretty disappointment. A lot of them. So sometimes there's some interest there, but I don't want to waste time with them, and I say, you're fired right away before they're even hired, even when they're real beautiful. And and you have experience with firsthand with me of me seeing other women and they're beautiful, and you're like, oh, well, but they're a disappointment. Because I'm looking for a quality
That's not
relationship.
going to work out. Yeah, so why waste your time?
Why waste your time? So it's a lot better when you have a quality relationship. It makes all the difference. That's why they say your happiness is correlated to the quality of relationships you have.
Yep.
So if you want to be more satisfied in life, you have to recognize quality relationships and have those. And guess what? Quality relationships sometimes are short term. Sometimes they can only last 6 months. Sometimes they can last a year. Sometimes they last 2 years or 3 years. Because the best time that you're dating a woman is a representative face. They're giving you the best version of that. And when they take off the mask, you see the real person. And then you realize, oh, it's not the representative. Or it is. This is how they are all the time. And then great.
Well, usually, too, that's why when you ask somebody that's like either going through a breakup or divorce and you say, hey, out of all of the time that you guys were together, what percentage of it was good? It's usually just like the first few months, the first few years. It's always just the beginning. And it's like, well, that's when you guys were both kind of being kind of fake.
Yeah, the mask was on, or they're trying to convince you, or
you weren't being
like phase.
The part that you really
weren't being real.
Exposing yourself. Yeah.
That's right.
So
that's what we think, guys. What do you guys think? Share, comment, subscribe, all those good things.
Thank you.